The National Educational Technology Standards are a set of standards published by the International Society for Technology and Education. They state that new media refers to interactive forms of communication that use the internet. Things such as podcasts, blogs, and wikis can be useful for teachers to both educate and assess their students. Such forms of technology allow for anyone to create, modify, and share content with others, allowing students to turn on, tune in, and create. In their publication titled Why Multimodal Literacies, co-authors Suzanne Miller and Suzanne Borowitz write the following. In this technological and cultural context, the notion of literacy has dramatically shifted from the conventional sense of reading and writing only print text to an expanded sense of reading and writing multiple forms of non-print text as well. Essentially, they are saying that in this age of vast technological use, our teachers must integrate technology into their classrooms through instruction and assessment, as to provide students with a variety of modes for exploring, dissecting, and reconstructing texts. Given the fact that the current generation of secondary students have been raised on devices such as iPods, laptop computers, and a multitude of television programs, it is essential that we as future educators provide students with these digital modes of literacy as a means for them to explore various texts across a variety of levels. By providing these modes, the term new literacies, as well as new technologies, are brought to the forefront. According to Borowitz and Miller, new literacies brings together thinking across several disciplines about new social practices and refers to new multimodal means for representing and communicating knowledge. In adhering to this practice of including new literacies, we must create classrooms wherein multimodal instruction is readily available to students and must also give students various forms of assessment that provide for the opportunity to demonstrate their competence via new technology and new media. In the 21st century, as we move from this to this, the direction of assessment in schools appears to be taking a turn, as national councils such as the National Council of Teachers of English are addressing the change. In their framework for 21st century curriculum and assessment, the NCTE states that the traditional elements for assessing 21st century student work include relevance and reliability of information used in the work, significance of new information or understandings communicated throughout the process and in the final product, effectiveness of the work in achieving its purpose, impact of the work on the audience, creativity or aesthetics demonstrated in the final product, creativity, initiative, and effectiveness demonstrated in solving problems, efficiency and effectiveness of the student's process, and the student's legal and ethical process and behavior.
Providing students with opportunities to engage new technologies and media will allow them to precisely elaborate any schema that may have already existed about these tools. If the student does not have experience with new technologies and media, integrating it into the classroom through forms of assessment will allow that student to create new schema about those tools and be able to utilize them in everyday life. Integrating technology into assessment would allow for a representation of the material inactively, iconically, and symbolically. Jones and Reeves state Bruner's belief that technology should be used to present problems that appeal to all three models of representation and, while appropriate to the learner's developmental level, push them to higher levels. The available technologies and media with which teachers can assess their students provide opportunities for participation in an activity that best meets their preferred mode of representation. Moreover, using the technologies would offer students the chance to work with and construct meaning from a culturally significant tool. Vygotsky's sociocultural theory connects to this latter idea. He believed tools allow us to act on our world and understand our world. Vygotsky's sociocultural theory also discusses the idea of capturing student attention. Jaramillo writes, teachers should obtain knowledge about how students categorize their world in order to devise interdisciplinary themes or schematic activities that correlate with the interests of students. By doing this, students will be able to better internalize what they are learning since they will be engaged in the process. Keller's ARCS theory of motivation adds to the idea of grasping student attention by saying it is important to vary one's approaches and introduce changes of pace at a level that is consistent with the optimal arousal levels, which Zuckerman called sensation-seeking needs of the audience. Using new technologies and media in assessing students that vary from the traditional methods generally employed and are interesting to the students will offer more motivation to partake in learning. Following the other three aspects of Keller's ARCS theory, using new technologies and media also can be employed in making the material relevant and meaningful to the student, giving them greater motivation to learn. Demonstrating the relevance can establish connections between the instructional environment, which includes content, teaching strategies, and social organization, and the learner's goals, learning styles, and past experiences. More motivation comes when students experience and take part in things that are personally interesting and freely chosen. If a student is assessed with new technologies and feels comfortable using them, they will be further motivated to learn, since that feeling will be one of confidence. This speaks to the student's belief that they can successfully master the learning task because of their own abilities. The fourth facet of Keller's theory is experiencing satisfaction in the outcome of the learning task, creating lasting positive feelings and a continued sense of motivation. Keller believes that providing students with opportunities to apply what they have learned, coupled with personal recognition, supports intrinsic feelings of satisfaction.
Now it's time to learn about some examples of assessment using new technologies that can be used in your future classroom. We just completed a poll everywhere. This can be used in the classroom to take quizzes, tests, used as an anticipatory set, or even a closure. Students are able to use their cell phones in class, which is a struggle for current teachers. This can be used as a formative or a summative assessment because it is up to you, the teacher, to decide if you want to grade the student's responses or not. Teachers can also overcome the overwhelming defeat that social networking sites have as well. They can create Twitters to update their students with the homework and even allow the students to collaborate and share information with each other. The same goes for Facebook, creating a wiki, and a blogspot. Students and their teacher can be connected through social media. As future teachers, we need to notice that times are changing, and we need to be willing to change with them. Another technology idea that teachers seem to be using are clickers. These are used just like Poll Everywhere with cell phones, though students have their own personal clicker. Clickers can be used for students to take an exam and allow teachers to know who answered what to each question asked. Wordle is a word cloud generator that can be used to make a cool cover page or title page for students. They can take their information regarding a specific topic and make something out of it. For teachers, we can see how much the student actually knows and realize what their main points are in written assessments. iMovies, such as the one you are currently viewing, can clearly be used as a form of presentation. We can use it as a form of assessment to see if the students understand the material we present to them. It can be used as a summative assessment in place of a written assignment because students will be able to create and present the same information as they would write about in a given essay. Google Docs can be used in the classroom for students to take notes. As a teacher, you can see how students are contributing by giving them a certain color to make changes to a document. They can each collaborate on a given project, and you can monitor how much each student is doing in a group project as well, so that you are assessing fairly. Prezzies can be used for assessment the same way that PowerPoint can. You can give students exams via Prezi and have notes for students on a Prezi. You can assess the student by seeing if they follow the Prezi and answer the questions that you implement into it.